Good morning from Titania's realm at Sacred Space. Today is Tuesday the 9th of June 2026 and the time is 11:59 a.m, almost midday. So I've been busy. I've put a little semi-permanent dye through my hair so I can continuously grow my grey out and reclaim my wild woman crowndom. Babies. Nothing like being your authentic true self and being wild for as long as you can. As long as you possibly can while you draw breath on this planet. That's my philosophy anyway. It's why I'm doing this. Also, to be frank, saves a bit of money on the perpetual foils, which look lovely, but we're getting a little bit, arduous on my budget. So going back to grey will be empowering and save me a little bit of money at the same time. And look, at my age at 61, I've been trying to run around like a 30-year-old for quite some time, and it hasn't really done me any good. Caused me only optimum distress with false friends and even falser lovers. So that's why I gave up on even bothering being a fully embracing my sexuality for 15 years now. No, that's not right. The other way around. 2015 was when I decided to hang up my boots, so it's 11 years now. So no regrets. It's helped me heal from many things, and not being used and abused by false lovers is a gift I gave myself, much needed gift I gave myself. So anyway, I've been busy this morning. Little Bo had something wrong with his eye again. I've been a bit worried about him, but he seems perky now. So I washed his eye and gave him a little touch of honey, and he's okay, and Kermie's okay. I've only just opened up the cage so they can play and interact if they want to, but gave Bo a little bit of a rest this morning. So the other thing I did is behind me, don't know if you can see it. No, move over here. I brought the skeins that I've been drying in the laundry. They are dry, but I just thought I might bring them in and just let them warm up a bit over the heater that I've got on very low because I worry about Bo's health. So I brought them in to kind of, fully dry out before I ball them up. So that was another little odd job. And the other job I did, and I love this, I actually really enjoy this part of silversmithing, was I tumbled all the silver that I worked on yesterday soldering, and it comes up so beautifully and shiny and gorgeous. I'm supposed to polish it all up again, and last time I did that, it actually didn't look as nice as with the tumbling. But anywho, it's a little job I did. I couldn't get the jump rings, sort of ended up leaning backwards, the bail, So I was a bit disappointed about that, and I thought I might pull it apart and do it again, but I thought, no, it can hang like that. It'll hang fine and look quite lovely. And if I keep pulling things apart, I risk wrecking it, so I decided to leave it as it is. I'm just waiting on the little heart stamp so I can put Athena loves Nana, and then surrounded by the big heart, which of course represents cosmic universal love. It does kind of look on a bit of a lean, doesn't it? Maybe I do need to pull it off and do it again. I might be able to hammer it over gently so it's not quite so leaning. Might be able to do that. Thinking about that, because I want it to be lovely, you know. It's a gift for my friend to gift to her friend, so yes, I have to think about what I'm going to do about that. If I get too perfectionist, I wreck things and then I get even more distressed. That's why I don't like making things for other people, because it causes me a lot of stress when I can't get it exactly perfect. And most of the time the people don't mind that much, because they know I'm making it from handmade, and I'm putting all my energy and love into it. But you know, if I fear that it's not good enough, then it causes me distress, and really I don't think they'll mind all that much about it not being 100% perfect. But anyway, this is the little silver braiding that I soldered onto this pendant, and as you can see, I had textured the back. I really love that. It's come up nice with the texture. Really love that. I still need, of course, to solder this bail on, but I polished it up in the tumbler as well. And I'm going to have to fiddle about with that because it's not even, so it doesn't sit right. So that's going to cause a bit of faffing about too. But in this case, it's got to be completely right, because it's got to sit and be soldered down onto the, I'll try and show it to you. It's got to be soldered on and sit like that. That's the plan anyway. That's the Mama T plan. But you know, look, it's really like playing for me. I have so much fun creating these things and making them happen. I'm very happy with how that worked out. And for once, I got the Hallmark stamp smack dab in the middle. So that was good workmanship, Mama T. This one is off centre. But you know, like I say, as long as I have the Hallmark on there, I don't think it's upside down too. Yes, off centre and upside down. But it's difficult when you put it on the back plate to find the right place and to have it the right way up. And I know, excuses, but you know, look, honestly, I'm not a professional and I'm still learning, so there is that. And I can't afford to waste too much silver by stripping it down and starting from scratch, especially now with the prices of silver. So I've got to make the best of whatever it is, make it to my best of my abilities, and I try not to stress too much. Let me just dry that off. I'm still drying them as I show you. This is the failed. I failed to solder it twice yesterday. So I had a little think about it during the night because I got all distressed. Why is there a weird lump on that? That didn't used to be there. See, this is what happens when you have to go back in and resolder, as you get a bit of meltage on the silver. Well, I can fix that. I can file that down and make it work. It's a hefty ingot, hefty chunk of silver, so I got room to play with that, make that happen. But because there isn't a lot of surface area and I'm soldering that, still got a bit of the, I don't know what that is, flux. So I have to file that back and file that back and have it clean, really super clean, which I did have, but it just wouldn't solder. And I tried and I tried and I got beside myself. So what I'm going to do, I've thought about it during the night. Often I'll think about things during the night. And there's a little bit of a hole there of porosity too that I'll have to fill with a bit of solder or something. Solder or silver. Anyway, so I decided during the night, worrying about this little beastie. It's meant to be the green man. The last one I made that I gifted to a friend, or thought we were friends at the time, that turned rancid. Get upset about all the gifts I've given to people that have turned rancid, but you give from a free, open heart or not at all. It's my philosophy, so no regrets. But anyway, the last one I made for that person, I just made with 1mm silver, silver sheet, and it turned out okay, but I like it, the bigger, chunkier ingot, in an emergency you can get a little bit of money back for it, for the weight of the silver. I'm always thinking about, what can I do in an emergency? Let's hope the emergencies never come, people of Earth. Because in an emergency, everyone's ruthless and cutthroat and gives you nothing anyway, so it doesn't really help you that much. Gold, however, investing in gold, if you can possibly afford it, which I can't, would be a wise decision. But again, if you're swapping your gold for a loaf of bread, it's going to be an owie. I know I sound doom and gloom, I really do, but I worry a lot about the state of our world. Maybe I'm feeling oppressed because we've got a bit more storms rolling through by the looks of it. The sky is out to the southwest, is all south and west, is all bleak and grey. Almost matches my hair, but my hair's not that colour, it's silvery. Right, anyway, so I'm going to sweat solder. Did I say that? I'm going to sweat solder that little beastie, and then sweat solder that little beastie, and then I'm going to knock it all together. And I can't decide, because see, there was a meltage on this one when I made it, but it kind of looks interesting. Looks like bark. That's why I decided to put it with the green man. So I can't decide whether to have the melted side that looks interesting on the front and make it a feature, or whether to just have it at the back so it's not so obvious. Can't decide. Probably should make it a feature. But then when you've got your chain through it, don't really notice it, do you? So I can't decide about that, but I'll have to decide when I'm soldering it, because it's important to have that in the right position, because that will be permanently fused together. And this little sweetheart, I'm so glad I bought this dye. It was expensive. I used my small settlement that I got back from my TVT tape from Ethicon, the Johnson & Johnson thieves. Ruined my health, and I got a stinking tiny bit of money back, and they said that's all I was entitled to. So, but I used some of that money to buy tools, and one of the tools I bought was this little sweetheart, which I really love, the hare and the moon. It's Celtic mythology, so Irish, Scottish, Welsh, English mythology, I guess. So I treated myself. This is the second one I'm making like that. I've got one for myself. So this one will either be sold or gifted to somebody who values my productivity. But again, I don't know how I managed to do that so far off centre. What happened there? Anyway, again, the hallmark's in a bit of an odd place, but I don't think that matters, because when you're wearing it, you don't see it, only when it flips over. So there is that. I cleaned this little chain too in the tumbler, so I'm happy about that. very happy about my silversmithing. You know, it's something that sparks joy and makes me have a sense of feeling of self-esteem and success, that I can make things. Although this one blew out my self-esteem yesterday because I couldn't get it right. But then I looked at it, I was so upset, and then I went, what about all the things I did get right? Like this and this. That took a bit of finagling, because what happens when you solder things down, the flux lifts it up and then you got to sit it down again, and I was worried that it wouldn't sit back down, and it did. So these are quite difficult for me to do. But look, this is going to look lovely. This is the stone that goes in it. The only thing is it's got quite a crack through it, and I worry when I set the stone that it's going to fracture. But look at the lovely colours that go through that piece of labradorite moonstone. I think it's moonstone, which is a form of labradorite really. So I'm just worried that it will fail when it goes to setting the stone. Worry. These are like my little children, worrying over them all the time. It's endless worry. Let me just put them, the ones I show you, back in their little box so I know where I'm at. I have a little progress report of things. It's waiting to be cast. I'm not going to do anything more with that. I can't carve three-dimensional things. I'm having trouble with that. It's not how my brain works. I was playing at making my friend's little dog, but even if I managed to make it, that's a huge amount of silver. It would be very, very heavy, and anyway, I need to make it a smaller version of it. But how sweet is she? But anyway, it didn't work out, so I'll probably have to melt that back down and, you know, use it for something else. And this is my trying to replicate a ring I had years ago, just before I had my gallbladder surgery. That little ring came into my life, and I paid $12 for it. It was just like a cheap aluminium model, so I wanted to remake it in sterling silver. But anywho, I don't know if that's ever going to work out. Not sure about that one either. But it's there in principle. Oh dear goddess. Well, I try. I don't always succeed, but I try. Here's another fused bit of silver that I didn't really succeed at, that I want to make another bale from, because, you know, I've made it. I'll just use it. Like, waste not, want not, is my philosophy. So there's that. And I'll put this here because that needs to be completed. This way I look at what my little jobs to complete are, and they're all organised, and then I have a feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment. So I've still got to melt the silver for that bale, you know, make the cast, and make the heart. I've got the little bale made already to match the other one. So there is that. I'll put that together with that one to remind me it needs more work. It needs the heart stamped on it. What else can I show you? Oops, I'll take my earrings out. So the hare and the moon out of all of those is complete. No, it is not. Silly mummy. I still need to put 2 little or 3 little jump rings to hang it off, and they will need soldering too. So that's another jobby. Put that down here to remind me. Another jobby. So I still have a few items that need soldering. But I had a good day soldering yesterday, good afternoon. Took me about 4 or 5 hours. Would have taken me less time if that hadn't kept failing, but anyway. So yeah, out of all of that, there were a few successes and a few failures. And then these 2 still need to have posts soldered on them, but I put them in the tumbler anyway and gave them a good polishing up. So yes, that's another job to do. I'll put them in there. I have all my list of jobs done. I look at it and I know what needs doing. Sometimes I write little notes to myself because I forget. I won't forget that I need to sweat solder the green man though. It's sort of like living in perpetual childhood. That's why I call my business Titania's Realm. Right, this one I polished up and I had put a post on it, but I'm going to take the post off and solder that onto a ring. I've got a bit of silver here that I could roll into a ring, but I don't think it's long enough. No, I need to buy some more sheet to make rings with, and that's going to be expensive, people of Earth. And I had one of these 2mm wire. I had 2, I lost a piece, don't know where it went to, just disappeared. It's odd. It's odd that it disappeared because I keep them in this little box, so I don't know how that happened. Maybe the birds got into it, but I don't think so. It's odd. Anyway, I've been looking at Craig Dabler's, I think it was Craig Dabler that taught you how to do it, how to make your own wire, cast it, and I think that's a great idea to use up scrap metal and save a bit of money, because I want to make a 4mm, which will be double the width, strip to use for my ring. I want it to be 4mm, and if you're buying the wire from, you know, the suppliers, it costs a fortune, but I can make it. I've got the scrap. Probably run out of scrap soon, but anyway, it is what it is. I'll make it happen, and then I can turn that into a Pegasus ring. Probably keep it for myself because I soldered the posts on all these little Pegasus. I've got lipstick on there now. Honestly, Tanya Aaron's. But anyway, facing left, both of those. So where's the right hand man? Aha. I might have to do a bit of filing around the edges to make them look a little bit more matching in size. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the one I want to turn into a ring. Oh dear goddess, I've got to remember that. I'll put that over here to remind me. Ring. Right. These ones will make very nice earrings, and these ones will make very nice earrings. And I took the trouble to put the hallmark stamp on the back of just one of these, so that's nice. Probably should have stamped the others, but I got too excited and carried away, as I do. Sometimes I jump ahead of myself. I'm like that, get way ahead of myself and miss little steps. But it's okay, people of Earth. It's all okay. So I can put these in now. I've got to just still make the little cut around the edge. I might have to shorten the post. Might be too long. Sorry. Shorten it. Put a cut burr on the end to, so it's not so sharp. And then I've got to make the little groove. But look, people of Earth, I already bought in anticipation months ago, a couple of months ago at least, the little butterfly clips, because I haven't made those. You can make your own, but I thought it's such a lot of work. And so these will be mine now that I'm wearing them. And so out of all that work, it's taken me months to make these. Why is that not working? Because I haven't got it facing the right way. It's taken me months and months to get these to completion. Still not working. What the hell? Sometimes you need to look in a mirror to do it. Aha, got it. So you see, I think that they look quite lovely. Yes, especially now they've been tumbled. You can have them, turn them around, have them face the other way. So they'll have that, and then I've got a beautiful Pegasus pendant that my mother actually bought for me 1990, 1991, 92, around about that time period. So after all these decades, I'll have the matching earrings, and then I'll make the little matching ring for it, which will be lovely. And so these just need to have their little grooves and cut burr, and they're a spare to give as gifts or to sell. And then I have the other pair that still need the post soldering on them as well. So I'll have two spares. So I'll just put them I'll put them aside for sales. I'll take these off because I've still got to finish them off with the groove and the cut burr and all of that jazz. Right, put them aside so that I know that they're mine. Mates. You see how childlike it gets, people of Earth? But this is the joy of being an artist. You can be childlike and no one cares. Right, and these need finishing off too. Right, I think I've got all that how I want it. I'll put that aside. So, I was going to start reading the story to you, but we're 28 minutes in and all we've done is talk about the silversmithing that I did yesterday. So I'll split this video up. I'll come back and read to you from Notes of a Dirty Old Man. In the meantime, wherever ye be, run wild and free, with harm to none and competition from none, and live your best life and enjoy every day that God and all manifestations of holiness, grace, compassion, benevolence, love and peace bestow upon us all, and live your life with joy and delight. From my sacred space to yours at Titania's realm. Bye for now.